¿Qué pasa, everybody? On this episode, we're taking a look at the Usagi Yojimbo, You're the Rabbit 4-pack from NECA. We're gonna do some comparison with the previous releases of Usagi Yojimbo from NECA. And hey, as you can see, this is a big box with a lot of stuff in it, so I don't wanna waste any time. What really stands out to me is this beautiful artwork with this gold foiling that's around here. You get the design that comes around the actual open window. You get these beautiful flowers on here. The design of the Usagi Yojimbo, You're the Rabbit, just beautiful. I'm really digging this. This is one box I would actually keep intact on my shelf and not open it, but the name of the channel is Open Please, so eventually we gotta open this. Taking a look at the side of the box, you get an image of Usagi Yojimbo once again in that gold foiling. Other side, you get an image of the Sakai logo with that cute little rabbit caricature peeking out. Top of the box, we get more gold foiling, little designs on the side with the 2023 You're the Rabbit. Really digging this box, is really cool. Bottom of the box, we get a list of all the accessories in here, a bunch of spots, hats, axes, lasers, swords. It's a lot. This is exciting. It's probably gonna take a minute, but here's my favorite part. Our good old friends, director Randy Falk, Trevor Zammit, and on Prototypes, our hermano, Roger Fernandez. Once again, still haven't found out if he's Latino, not that it matters, but hey, it's good to know there's some Latinos out there in the toy industry. Shout out to all my Latino nerds out there. I know your struggles, brother. Back of the box, we get some images of the figure. That's one thing that NECA does really well, is their toy photography. Shout out to all those NECA toy photographers. It has to be a great job, right? Maybe, I don't know. No, I really like the foil that's on here, really highlighting these images. Now you guys, let's not waste any more time. Let's get this thing opened up and say those two magic words.
Open Please.
Here we have them all out of the box. Let's start off with this first figure in the pack, which is this Usagi with that classic kimono or gi. Whatever, it's a kimono, I'm assuming. This looks a lot like that first release from the NECA 2 line, but the major difference is these little dots that are on here, which are more comic book accurate. This Toon figure, as you can see, just has a solid blue, where when Sakai drew Usagi, he always drew him with these little dots on here. As you can see, we get a little bit more expression with this eyebrow here. On the cheeks, there's some added line work, more comic book accurate type of paint work and line work on there. So that's a big difference between these two figures, is the painting and the extra detail. This one is a little bit shinier, where this one's a little bit more matte, of course. But this guy, articulation is really good. Flexible material for the shirt. I mean, you can just get a lot of dynamic poses out of him. He's real flexible. The joints are tight on it. Comes with his swords that are right here and his sheath. You can just slide this in the sheath right here. The sheath itself has some nice detail on there, like the paint on the swords. So I think that's what is really gonna make these stand out. And what I really like about like even the Mirage line from NECA is that because it's comic books have a lot more detail and a lot more like line work on them. And that's exactly what you got going on right here. A lot more line work on the sheath of the sword. You also get this thing right here, which I used to know the name of, but it's a little spear thingy. This Usagi came with this little piece of spandex cloth to put around him, but honestly, I don't see it anywhere in this pack. Like sometimes I miss stuff on these reviews and I find it later. So maybe they did come with it. I mean, it wouldn't make sense if it did, because otherwise there's nowhere to put this. Unless I missed something, I don't see it. That sucks. I don't know if you guys had some in your pack. Let me know in the comments. I'm sure somebody would be like, it's in there, bro. You just gotta find it. I don't have it right now, so we'll move on. You also get this little fur coat accessory put on with the figure and this little hat thingamajigger. If I read the box, then maybe it would tell me what it is. The box just says hat, so like it's a hat. Like I'm sure this type of hat has a name, and why do we always gotta be accurate on stuff? Like, let's be real. I don't know everything about Japanese culture. I respect it. I like it. I mean, everything in my life is Japanese inspired, samurai inspired. I mean, who doesn't like it? I just don't know what this name of this hat is. So, but it's a cool hat. Take the ears off, slide the hat over, and then you can fit it under his chin right there. This fur coat has this little stringy rope right here, so you're just able to like wrap it around his shoulders and tie it in a little knot. I suck at tying just Here's some B-roll of what it looks like, because right here it looks cool, but here's B-roll. B-roll's a lot cooler, isn't it? And I'll tell you my one kind of issue, like this is a cool fur coat, but this rope, being that you have to tie it, like I have to go watch a YouTube video to see how to properly tie a knot that will make this look good, because it doesn't look good the way I tied it. Well, it would have been cool if they had like a little something just to slip it in and like hook it on there to make it a lot easier, because honestly I'm afraid to tie the knot too tight and then it's stuck on the figure. Now this is NECA, so you know we always get a nice little backdrop. They did not disappoint in this 4-pack. You get different images combining the different looks of Usagi. You get the space look for Space Usagi, and you get the old Japan look. Plus you got those different spots in the back. I know those dinosaurs have a name. I can't remember what that is right now, so bam, I inputted it later. These are all the hands that came with this 4-pack. Just at first glance, it looks like there's repeated hand molds, but once again, I'm not too sure about that. We'll take a look. This version of Usagi also comes with a second head sculpt where the ears are down. You get a different face expression on there. This one looks like he's pissed, but also like scared or shocked or something. Like this face expression has a lot of different things. It looks like a little kid that just walked in on his parents doing the deed. Like he's processing something. So if you do want to put the hat on and you want to have the ears coming out the back right there, this head is perfect for it. You can also pull it out so you can swap the ears on there. So you can have that facial expression. Everything's kind of interchangeable and swappable. You can even get the head off of this tuned version of Usagi. If you like the purple rubber band better than you like this gray rubber band, it'll fit and it works on there. It doesn't look bad. Of course, you don't get all those comic book accurate details on there. But it's cool. If you watch this channel, you know I love head swaps. I love third-party stuff. And it's cool when you get official things that actually help it swap out and change. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, you can also get the accessories from the other Usagi and throw it on this guy if you want to. You know, it doesn't look half bad with that right there. But no Usagi is complete without his friend Spot. You also get these 4 versions of Spot, or the Tokaji as they're known in the comic book. I Googled that. Did not know that off top. I just Googled it. This version here where he's kind of looking up to the side right there with the straight tail. You get this one kind of where he's sitting down, a little bit more playable. You get a little articulation in this tail. Pretty cool, pretty fun. And then you get this little guy, which is one of those Tokaji curled up in a sleep position. All these guys have great detail. The little spots that are on them, the comic book looking detail on here. Look, they even painted his foot right there. Like that's not necessary, but they did line work on it. But they couldn't put it on that turtle van. We're not talking about the turtle van. You get these 2 open palm hands that are right here. And then you get these 2 gripping hands to put stuff in as well, which will probably be for those swords that have a sheath, but nothing to hold the sheath. Moving on to the samurai version of Usagi. It does have a helmet on there. You can utilize the hole that's up top to place in the helmet, so the helmet will stay on there. Once again, I love the detail on the body of this figure. A lot of line work on this guy. The pads do kind of hinder his articulation. You can't get much of a T out of him. Arms only come up about that much, but that's all right. These little flaps in the back kind of hinder his articulation in his legs, but they are pliable and movable, so that's kind of good. Which just the articulation, really awesome. This helmet, I know it's supposed to stick in there, but it doesn't hold on very well. It keeps falling off. Kind of annoying for what I'm doing right now. He came with a second pair of ears with a blue ribbon that goes on there. If you choose to use the blue ribbon, once again, all these ears are kind of interchangeable. So you can kind of decide to put them where you want to put them, although this doesn't fit in very well. It's kind of tight. I don't know, I like it with the gray bandana. It kind of matches. You got the blue bandana you can put on there. You get some good neck articulation, moves around a lot. Nice design. Overall on this body, completely great design. It's really like stunning. You know, most figures when you see them in photos or like video or something, they don't really pop out to you. NECA products really, when they're in hand, they just add that extra like nostalgia to it. I don't know, there's an extra little something to it when it's in hand. There's just something about playing with the actual figures that does something. You get this open palm hand, and technically you can put them on all the figures, but it would just kind of look weird. And if you want them without these little pads that are on there, you can just switch out and have them with white hands. Nothing wrong with that. So all the hands that work on there. You get these gripping hands as well for holding all this stuff, because this guy comes with a ton of stuff. You get this sword right here. You get this axe. The wood grain that's on here has some extra molding and grooves in there. This is nice pieces, man. This extra little machete, which we've gotten the piece like this before with that Space Usagi. We also got this thing again that came with the old classic Playmates. I don't know what it's called. Somebody will tell me in the comments. Go ahead and do it. And I don't mind if you comment because it helps the algorithm. And what I'm excited about as well is this little flag that's right here. You also get this weapon to have them grip and kind of punch people with, kind of dag them in the face. This is a really cool weapon that's on there. Then you get this spear and this little pitchfork, which will probably use with this version of the figure. These accessories aren't really specific to any version of the character. You can kind of use them with all of them. The only one it might look out of place with is the Space Usagi version of it. Tell you what, this figure right here gets me excited about that Michelangelo that's coming out with the samurai stuff. I don't know how hard I'm going in on those. I mean, we'll see what happens. Usagi was drawn differently in the comic books depending on when he was drawn in the series. And a lot of times he had this look, so it's really cool. The first time we get a head sculpt like this is it's kind of an exclusive. His gi is a little bit different than this other one that comes in the pack. You got the rolled up sleeves on here. You got a little bit of white that's in here. Completely different in that aspect. Now, unfortunately, you only get one head sculpt for this guy, which like a happy face dude. Now, once again, as far as hands go, we come to the end of the pack where they're all just white hands. It does look like they're kind of repeated hands that you get, because like you get these open palm hands here. End up getting like 3 pairs of these open palm hands, kind of like finger position. If you want all your figures having the same pose, you could do that, I guess. It would have been cool to like have a bunch of different variety of hand molds that we can have a bunch of different plug and play items. But I guess it's cheaper not to re-sculpt stuff. I don't know. I don't own a toy company. Mad Hatter, you got a toy company? Tell me about that. Well, you don't have a toy company, but you know what I mean. What is a little bit different, which this is going to end up being for the next figure, is these hands to hold a gun. That's it for the hands. I don't want to look at another pair of hands in this video. Then we get this guy, another version of Space Usagi, like an almost completely different version of Space Usagi from this Toon one that we got. As far as last year goes, like this Space Usagi was one of my favorite figures. As far as detail goes, this is kind of an upgrade. What is similar, you do get the emblem in the center here, but this look is a different look that he had during the comic book. And according to an interview with Trevor, like Sakai actually picked this one out because he kind of liked it the most and thought it was more accurate to it, which this guy's just really fun. You get that futuristic robotic gear that's on his head right here. You get that little intercom that's on there. Great detail and sculpting. Like this piece just itself is like, I don't know, it just makes it stand out. You get these shoulder pads, don't hinder it too much. They are kind of flexible, so you might be able to get a little bit more than a T. I get a T out of them, which is cool. You got this nice little belt on it. You get some gun holsters on here. Now this guy came with the belt. I don't know why that first figure couldn't come with the belt that would hold stuff. I don't know. I'm still kind of bummed out. That's bothering. That's gonna bother me throughout this entire video. That stupid belt portion of it. But that doesn't take away how great this figure is right here. Love the boots. Same thing as I liked with his original Usagi, is that wide base, because these feet really allow you to get good poses out of it. It helps with the balancing of the figure, so you don't have to use stands really. Once again, a lot of poses you'll be able to get out of them. A lot of kicking poses, running poses, splits for days on this guy. The little shields on here, his jetpack. Space Usagi comes with a bunch of accessories that are very specific for him. We got this gun that's right here, a really long barrel on it, really looks pretty sleek and awesome. You also get this little tiny gun right here, which this tiny gun can slip right into this holster that's right here. Looks a little bit more sleek with that tiny gun. Don't have a holster for this big gun, but that's okay. Apparently we don't need holsters for all the weapons, like that sheath on that first figure. You also get this little sword for this Space Usagi. He does have a sheath on here, which is really awesome. Looks pretty cool with all his weapons. This sword, just like with the other Space Usagi, comes with that little blast effect. This one's more solid, has a little bit of paint and detail on there, where this original Space Usagi that we got was just a clear plastic little effect that went over it. And honestly, I don't know which one I like better. I'm just glad we have more than one. And you also get this little like machete handle dagger thingy majig. But guess what? Spots and more spots. We got more spots in here. We got these robot spots that are on here. Nice detail as far as this robot goes. I think we got with this one before with that Toon Space Usagi. But something we haven't got before is this version of the spot. Here's this little stand that you're able just to place them into. You can get some articulation out of this guy as far as how you want to pose them up and down or whatever. Or you can use them as one of those little quarter machine horsies that you see outside the grocery stores, or at least you used to. Was that just a 90s thing? I mean, these spots are really cool. My only complaint is that there's no articulation on these guys. I feel like they could have easily put some type of ball joint in there or something. Something about these little screws just makes me want to articulate it, but you can't. It's just a solid piece. And I think the reason why this guy is on this stand, because he does have this, so you can pose both of the guys flying through the air, Spot and Space Usagi. So that's it, you guys. That's the Year of the Rabbit Usagi 4-pack. If you guys haven't seen my Space Usagi review from the Toon line, you're gonna want to click this video right here. What did you guys think of this entire pack? Are you guys as happy to have it as I am? Except for that stupid rubber band. I appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Oh, baby.